Got the pool cleaner working right now. It's probably been in there about, I don't know, 4 hours today. I didn't run it yesterday. Every day we get a little bit of wind the last week, and so I get a fair amount of dirt, leaves, and other debris in the pool. For the most part, the pool is actually clean, but I'm always amazed on how much dirt and muck that it seems to filter out of the pool when I pull it out, and we'll see that in a little bit. I've had this cleaner about 9 days so far, and I run it almost every day for 3-4 hours, and it seems to get pretty much everywhere in the pool. I've done a little brushing along with it to help along when I first got it. Originally, when I put it in the pool was very dirty, had a lot of debris in it. My other cleaner wasn't working very well because I had some cavitation on my pump and some suction issues with the pool configuration and the piping. So that's why I decided to go with an alternate cleaner. And I originally went with the battery operated one, and the battery operated one was not able to filter out the fine particles, and it just blew it back in the pool, and it was just a complete waste. I tried it for a couple days and it didn't work. Then I sent that back and then purchased this one after I read that it had a good filtration system. So I tried it out, and after the first day it was night and day compared to the battery operated one. So because my pool was pretty dirty and had a lot of leaves in it, I probably pulled the filter out once every 20 minutes or so of it running and cleaned the filters out because it was, you know, so built up. And once the pool got relatively, you know, much cleaner, then I just, right now, like, I'll run it for 4 hours and then I'll pull the filter at the end. It doesn't need to be changed while it's running. Not unless I have, you know, maybe a night where I wake up the next morning, there's leaves all over the bottom, then maybe I'll clean it out more often. But this one is working great. It's the Serene, well, it's under Serene brand, which is Pile USA, and so far I absolutely no complaints with this cleaner. Right now it's been running for a while, so I can see that the cord is getting a little bit twisted up, and maybe that is a little bit of an issue once in a while, but I'll just go and unravel it. So let me grab a hook that I bought online so that I can hook it out, and then we'll go ahead and check it out and see what it looks like on the inside. The easiest way that I've found to retrieve the pool cleaner from the pool, since I don't want to tug on the cord, because there's a strain relief on the end of the cord at the pool cleaner, but it's not tight around the actual cord, so it doesn't really provide strain relief. It just keeps the cord from bending too sharply. That's pretty much all it works for. It's not really made for the cord to be tugged on, because you're pulling directly on the cord and the connector, and then eventually it's just going to have a problem. So what I don't normally do is, I bought this this hook on Amazon that hooks onto my pole. It's like $9, and that way when it gets close enough on this side, then I can go ahead and hook the handle on the cleaner, then I can pull it in. And what I've done is I've taken the controller box off the mount that I have, and I put it on the ground right here so that it's real close, so when I pull the cleaner and get it towards the end of the water, then I can just turn this off. Because the reason why I'm doing this is if you turn the cleaner off and then retrieve it out of the water, some of the debris will get released back into the pool, and I try to keep away from that. So what I'll do is I'll get a hold of it in my hand first, and then once I've got a grasp of it, I start to pull it out of the water, then I turn it off as I'm pulling it out towards the edge, and that way I eliminate most of the back feed from the filters back into the pool. So right now I'm going to hook it. Okay, let's see. It's a little tricky because you got to get right under there just right. Okay, so I've got it hooked. Okay. And I don't want to hold it out of here while it's running. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll grab it. I'll hold it under the water for a second. It's kind of tricky, but it works. Then, well, I got it right here. I'll reach over, turn it off, and then pull it out of the water. It's kind of tricky. I'll move this over here into the rocks. It's kind of a tricky process, but as you'll see when I open it up, you'll see how much of the crap that is sucked out of the pool, and I don't want it going back in there because I've already made that mistake before. Okay, blow off this mount real quick. Okay, now we'll see is what it looks like. Okay, so just pull these up, and there's a 2-filter system in here. So this is more of the bigger debris here. When you pull this out, then you get to really see a lot of the crap in there. So what I do is once I get that out, I pull this one out. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit because it fits pretty good. And then you can see all the junk in there. That's real dirty. And then it's pretty dirty down there too. So the next thing we're going to do is go over, rinse these 2 filters out, get them all nice and clean, and then we'll rinse this out, and then we'll come and then we'll put it back together and ready to go. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is rinse this out. Put the camera here so it's a good spot. There's hair and there's tree debris, the seeds going off of our trees here in the backyard. So, and here is, like I said, this is the bigger stuff in here. So what I try to do is I just keep rinsing down here. So pretty much everything's out. This one's a little bit faster to rinse out than the other one, because the other one's a little bit finer filter. I got a bunch of trees in the backyard, so they're dropping these little pods and these little seeds off of them now, and they're all getting in the pool, so it's picking them up with everything else. So, you know, and then every time the wind blows, which we've been having like wind every day lately, they just get more of them in it. So I'm constantly trying to keep it clean. They don't float very long. They just go right to the, seem like go right to the bottom. Okay, here's that one. Some of you just rinse it out first, just to try to get the loose stuff out. That gets a lot of it out. A lot of the mud, kind of mucky, dead algae, whatever. So even though the pool looks really clean, this thing has no problem picking up all this fine stuff. I'm pretty amazed how well it works. how much it just picks up, even though it looks like it's really, really clean. So I'm impressed with it. And this thing doesn't pass anything back in the pool like those other ones with just the stream filters. Forget those. Those things do not pick up dirt. They do not pick up the fine stuff. And you'll just end up, you move the dirt from the bottom to back into the water on most of the other ones. And then, you know, the next day it's just been redistributed somewhere else. And yeah, it's really, I was more than frustrated. I love some of the other cleaner that I had, but it just didn't do the job. So I was like, no, I got to do something else, and I'm more than happy with this one. The cord is a little bit more to deal with, but it's not bad. I just situated the controller in a spot where I didn't have to really deal with much with the worry about getting the cables, you know, hooked on anything, and it's relatively in the center of the pool, so I don't really have to worry about the cord getting stuck on anything. I think it's pretty clean now. Okay, so what I do is, before I even put it in there, I just slip the one filter into here. Okay, so there's a handle. Got the other one on the outside. So we'll go walk this over here to the cleaner. And what we're going to do before we put this filter back into the cleaner, I can just carry this little plastic bowl out here. I fill the plastic bowl full of pool water. And I stick it in here, rinse all this out. Because this area right in here harbors a lot of little dirt. Let's try it again. So I'm rinsing this inside area out. Okay. Usually do that about 3 times, just to make sure that when it's all rinsed out, so that when I go to put the cleaner in, pull again, it's cleaned out. There's nothing left in there. So now I'll get the filter assembly. All right, what we do, put the filter assembly back in there, just sits in there, boom, back in there, and then we'll just do is to close the top. Okay, it's locked back down. Now, unplug this. Now what I do is just roll the cord up. Let me disconnect it from the controller box. Okay, disconnect it. Now, I roll it from the end that was in the controller box so that I can go ahead and take all the twists out of it. I'll walk down over here under the porch and kind of stretch it out, and then as I'm rolling it up, if it's still kind of twisted, I'll just turn this loop in order to untwist it. So by the time that I get it all rolled up, it'll be all untangled. So, all right, let's just do this. If it feels like it wants to kind of roll another way like it's looking like, then I'll just go ahead. Yeah, it's not really good. There we go. And if it feels like it wants to twist the other way, then I'll just twist this loop that I'm holding. So that will take the twist out of it. And I don't leave this thing in the pool, no. Because if you leave these things in the pool, and they have a tendency to want to, pool eats it up and everything else. So when it's done working, I put it back all back, and I stick it back in my little garage so that it stays out of the sun, stays out of the pool water unless it's working. Yeah, these pool cleaners don't take the chlorine and everything so well if you just leave them in there. It just I found out you just leave them out of the pool when they're not working, and they'll last a whole lot longer because these things aren't cheap. Oh, and by the way, if you're going to get one of these, this is the Serene Life one. I'll put the name on there, but that's the Serene Life one from Pilot USA. If you're going to buy one of these, I think they have like a, I don't know, 30-day warranty or whatever. Buy the extended warranty. Buy like the 3-4 year extent, whatever they offer, buy it. Because getting parts for these is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I called around, finally got them to, wanted to order an extra set of filters. And it took many calls, and I even looked the part up online and gave them the number, but still, you know, most of the time you're dealing with somebody from a phone customer service from another country, and they're not well versed in this equipment, so it's a bit to be desired. So what I do is I just have like a little Velcro cord tie right here. I put on it to hold the cord together, and then so I'll just go ahead and put this away. But yeah, you can get a hold of Pilot USA on the phone, and you know, if you have to order parts, you can. But I would definitely buy the extended warranty. So if down the line you can't get parts when needed or something, then you have some kind of an alternative versus just having to go out and fund a brand new one and still have a relatively good one in hand, but you can't use it because you're missing a part, or you've got a part failure, or worn out tracks or whatever. This thing's pretty heavy. It's around 30 pounds, and then when you add water to it, it's a little over that. So when you're pulling it out of the water, it's not bad inside the water, but when you break out the surface, it's heavy. So, you know, don't throw your back out. Get over the top of the edge, get on your knees or something, and when you pull it out, that way you don't pull your back out. And you know, have your little controller near the water's edge when you do it, so you can shut it off immediately and then unplug it. But other than that, it's good. It's much easier putting in because all you're doing is just lowering it in there, and it floats to the bottom, and you're good to go. But definitely buy the hook. Like I said, on Amazon it's about $10, and I would recommend that one.